Hello, this is the Daily Dharma. My name is Dina. Thanks for joining today. I'm seeing that we have empowerment and fertility on the bottom of the deck. So I'm sensing also, before I get going, yesterday's message sort of confused me. I didn't see that coming into my own life. I didn't know the context. And I did have something in my own life that came up that was a tense exchange, so to speak, differently than was perhaps described, but I was able to stretch that message into something personally relevant to me. And the part that I didn't actually say was that it was some type of an opportunity to either advocate for someone or something or some value or for ourselves. The ability to use our voice to set a limit in an appropriate, balanced manner for our own self-health and happiness instead of trying to accommodate a situation, going through and in the correct manner asserting oneself. And this was something that created a lot of judgment, self-judgment, self-discomfort in displaying the dynamic emotions that arose, and the need for empowerment came from that. And so this display of empowerment here is taking back one's power, which is creating a great deal of potential to open up. It's the key to many doors, I'm hearing. So empowerment remains, and universal love, being able to use this for the higher good instead of in personal betterment at the expense of others. You're doing it, I'm hearing, in the right way, or there's an awareness of how to do it better. Conceiving of your own power. Conception of power is when you're grasping and holding the power in your hands. And it's just like yesterday's reading said, there's a switching of soul contracts. Like, we've ascended the message. We understand where we've compromised on what was true and right and best for ourselves. And in our own uprising, so to speak, we're challenging other individuals to come closer into their own integrity as well. We're being a divine mirror for others in that way. And it's bringing something in, some lucky break where there's a new opportunity for growth and abundance and further blessings. That wants to fall down and reveal the divine masculine. Let's see. Prosperity and consciousness. An awakening awareness that's going to open many doors. I believe that this is the key. The consciousness is the key here. The conscious use of our power is bringing a lot of opportunities with this prosperity. 333. The 22 card here, the divine masculine, actually tells us about this. Supporting our strong, focused, and active side, allowing it to express itself while helping us to bring our dreams and ideas into form with kindness and wisdom. So your awareness has been dealing with something for some time. Soul time, empowerment, prosperity, that perhaps you've been pushing down, trying to be the bigger, better, kinder person, accommodating a circumstance, being able to bend to the needs of a circumstance. But many individuals will find that in their past they have bent and flexed and allowed and accommodated and compromised to the extent that it's like, when is it my turn, right? And I think many of us are finding that it's time for us to use our power for this new day, this new opportunity that we're stepping into. All right. Let's see about what is coming in from these circumstances, responses, interactions. There we go. Alchemy again. Don't mind alchemy at all. Let's put alchemy there in between. Discernment's at the bottom of the deck. Again, using our discernment to understand both our own authority, what's true, what's right, what we can influence for the better, how perhaps we're allowing our needs to be eclipsed by the needs of the all. We need to be self-servicing, self-sovereign, and in that way we need to ask for support. We need to ask for others to do the right thing for us as well. We need to hold folks to a higher standard. And perhaps this is also coming back to us in other avenues where in one circumstance it might be us that's accommodating others in the external adulting world, perhaps like at work, school, in whatever dynamic, and then you come home and there's a way that we need to be brought back to our integrity, that something is influencing us or something hasn't come to our attention. And of course, certain individuals can certainly be manipulative and but I don't believe that that's what we're talking about. Is not the malicious, nefarious manipulation, but that we're all so immersed in our own needs and struggles that even when we think that we're doing for others, we're actually just enabling a process to continue, that we have the capacity to shift and change, which even though it seems potentially self-servicing only, this thing, by acting in our highest good, we are subtly and appropriately demanding from the heart space that we all advance and grow in this together. We're in this together. We're signed up for a soul contract with other individuals, playing out in many ways. So dealt with in the right way can create a lot of alchemical delight. I like it better when you guys can see the cards that fall and how they're set out on the table, but we'll get to that. And Delight in Alchemy came out the other day, if you saw that broadcast, where the color palette's very similar here. And it's an illuminating insight. And I believe that some type of standing up for oneself or advocating for something is that alchemy, that somebody didn't understand another person's viewpoint. And perhaps you are judging the way that somebody or yourself has expressed or displayed, but the shift has been made. You can't unsee this, however subtle. Something needed to shift. And this is a delightful shift. It's a communication that needed to be had. And perhaps many people have understood that there's these issues at play, but feeling ineffective or unaware of how to shift a circumstance, they continue in this routine, this patterned behavior or instruction, and then somebody brings up this this alchemical moment that brings that epiphany awareness that's illuminates something new. And then there's this clicking that happens, like the clicking of a combination, the clicking of that key in the lock that unlocks the, oh, well, now it's so obvious that you put it that way. I now understand how I wasn't serving your needs. I was actually, complicating matters because I didn't understand. So this is good. Whatever has emerged, passion, very nice. I think that there's mutual passion here, and there's a group goal or objective here on the table that had been sliding backwards into habits or into a lack of awareness of how to shift something. And perhaps you are the missing key, or that missing reflective insight that is now creating movement for everybody. I saw 1010 at that point. It's like the cycle has been broken, the cycle has been uplifted. 10 is a completion, and it brings us back. It reduces to 1 1, which is the 11. And so by completing our cycle, we're helping others to complete their cycles and to get back to the expression and the development of that inner spark, that passionate flow in life. Throat chakra. Yes, something needed to be spoken, some truth needed to come into the light, delight, come into delight. I don't know what that is. It's like if we remain in the shadows, we are ignoring the potential for our own enlightenment, for our own growth and inner prosperity. We are needing to let whatever needs to bubble up to actually be expressed. There's the 1111. Crown chakra and change. A change in beliefs, a change in our awareness. Maybe it was us that didn't quite know what was wrong. We were trying to be the bigger, better person, or trying to be humble in some type of way, trying to not rock the boat. But there was a definite need for change. There was a need for you to clear your throat and speak something out into the open. And this is opening people's eyes and minds to their capacity to support the situation in a healthy manner, or to just be apathetic. One more. Cosmic flower. Something's ready to bloom here, to take root, and it's as though somebody has limited your ability to grow, and you have allowed it to persist. In the awareness that something was wrong, you kept perhaps, or another was waiting for somebody to change something without bringing their needs into the other person's awareness. And by advocating for something or someone or oneself, now your growth can be exponential, because there was perhaps a toxin in the environment. There was something in the soil, something in the grounding that everybody was feeding into in a group, perhaps, that now there's a new growth pattern available, a new activation. I want to split this. I'm getting discernment, sacral chakras popping out with a couple, and empowerment showing itself. So awareness of our power and the ability, synergies under empowerment, empowering the way that we work with groups and the way that groups are working together. What's under discernment is coherence. Yeah. Understanding and discernment. Those are so similar. I feel the urge to read to distinguish the two. So discernment supports our ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet with compassion and wisdom. So knowing how and when to act. It's the higher awareness of what to act on, what isn't working, what is better, higher, and not holding people in judgment, but holding also everyone into that mutual accountability to the group. How can we do better? And coherence and contrast says it supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind for an optimal ability to create the reality that we desire. Yeah, so something was interfering with our ability to surpass some type of limitation here, and it's in our hands to make this shift. And the thing that perhaps has been keeping us from doing that, we have the sacral chakra here. It's that it's the way that we use our emotional self, the way that we feel connected and bonded and a part of the group. and this second chakra, sacral chakra, can be blocked by shame and guilt. Yes, we'll keep seeing what's under here. Okay, so healing that sacral chakra creates this big shift that we were talking about yesterday with change and shift, and now we've got change and shift here too. By opening up yourself and expressing this, then this is creating a huge change. It's as though you really have signed off on the feeling that you had to play small in a situation, and now it's like, well, this is now me acting in my best interest, acting in the best interest of the group. So let's make this a little bit shorter because I wouldn't mind doing another forecast. I like closing us out with a card, an oracle card from the mixed deck. I've got the Kali oracle and the Kuan oracle here. It's great divine feminine energy because the Kuan Yin deck is very gentle and subtle, and the Kali is often very in your face and very aggressive and annihilating what doesn't suit and serve. And I love the two of them together in this time of perhaps the feminine rising. And I mean that for, in all the right ways, not as anything to do with gender superiority in the least. So this is a very interesting card with the feminine sickle. Khadga, is that how you say this? Khadga, number 9. What I'm seeing in this card is the need to reflect on the balancing act. Some are rising, some are falling, some are ascending, and some are slipping backwards into habits. And there's this counterbalance of the blue and the red, the hot and the cold, the passionate and the cooling force, the fire and the water, the oppositional energies. It may be, and then I'm seeing the red tassel here and then this orangish gem. And the sickle itself is talking about the ability to slice through what doesn't suit, what doesn't serve. It's the crescent sickle. I love to read these cards because there's so much more in there than what I can convey. Oh, and I didn't even see what fell. Oh, wow, this one's good too. Guya Kali or Gaia Kali 28. I'll let you see how that's written, although it's probably reversed in the camera. Maybe you can read backwards. She has that same sickle sword in her hand, one of her 4 hands, but it's bloody in this deck. And then she also has a scepter. She has her hand in the space between the heart and the throat. And I don't know what this study is called, but if we look into the chakras, there's also the point that the main chakras are blending together. The chakra wheels, the vortex energies are commingling here. And it's like the heart rising up, the bubbling up that becomes the expression that's almost uncontrollable, unsolicited almost, but it's time, it's necessary, and it's needed. And now she has 3 skulls at her belt. It's like taking names. I'm feeling the energy of somebody who's like, take her in again. She's got her one hand up like, all right, I surrender. This needs to stop. I'm putting up the stop sign here. I'm using this bubbling up that is indistinguishable now. This is intolerable. There's the tension and the friction has come to the point where it needs to be dealt with. And there's a little blood, meaning somebody probably got their feelings hurt or otherwise, but there's a feeling of having struck out, or first blood, the first strike, and meaning business, absolutely meaning business. So let's get this number 9 card first. It says she wields the holy sword of divine severance, empowering the soul in the radical letting go process. She instills the courage to bear the pain of loss and the wisdom to realize the secret blessing that can only arise when we embrace change. Where our strength of will may falter, she intervenes to ensure we do not sabotage our ultimate fulfillment and delight and spiritual progress. She will not allow our souls to be ensnared in any kind of deception or trapped in fear. She is the liberator, and her sword clears the path, revealing truth. Absolutely. I love the summing up that happens with that. And this Guya Kelly, I wish that these were pronounced in this book. Our divine mother, who knows all, with every answer and every mystery within her power to disclose, provides knowledge at the right time and in the best way. An answer to your question shall be provided. Do not immediately dismiss intuitions that are unexpected or that lead you into unknown territory. Rest and reflect upon your insights, allowing your wisdom, rather than a reaction, to distill their usefulness and value. An entirely new perspective about a matter of importance is awakening. A secret shall be revealed, and all you need to know will be given to you. Fantastic. So, yes, and I'm seeing here, do you see that same blue on one side of her and the red on the other side? It is the turning of a page, the flipping of the script that I keep referring to with this transition. A new sequence of DNA has been activated in us, and it's been dormant for some time, but the need for change has been unmistakable. It's been rising up inside of us in that urge to push through at any cost, and we've been waiting and waiting with poise, aligned, and ready to be taken seriously, and perhaps waiting in humble waiting for that break in traffic to merge, and perhaps it just didn't happen. And then Kelly stepped in to say, are you going to wait forever, or are you going to take your seat at the table? Are you going to command the room with your subtle energy to say, enough is enough, this is garbage. I'm going to take the wheel, spin the propeller, and create the change that's necessary. I am going to be the change that I have been waiting for. And it is sacred and it is divine. It is you responding to the passions that the collective is repressing, perhaps, and sensing the need for further synergy within the group, seeing and witnessing shortcomings and everything else all around us, and playing small when we perhaps have some of the answers. Yeah, there's a reason and a need for us to sit at that table. We have the necessary alchemical knowledge, wisdom, body movement, whatever is that key. We are the sacred key that pushes this circumstance into growth and further happiness for many individuals involved. So I do believe that we're being told not to second guess, even if it wasn't what we think of as our highest expression, or if we have been led in previous experiences to second guess or apologize for our authenticity or our outburst or this truth telling. Perhaps you were judged or told that your truth didn't have a place, that it was supposed to be buried down and play nice. Especially females, the feminine energy is within us all, and it's that vulnerable, humble spark that knows so much more than is perhaps aware or brought to the awareness of others. And it is time for that truth to come out and to interact with our inner masculine, to be the empowered feminine spark of nurturing the best power and the best use of power. We are a strong model in this. So I think I'll leave that one there. Check back if you need a little bit more on the next video. Thanks